Welcome to For Your Life, a half hour filled with information, products, and tips to help you and your family manage your busy lifestyle. I'm Stacey Englehart. Well, the end of summer doesn't have to mean an end to grilling season. Looking for ways to achieve a perfectly grilled steak all year round? Need one appliance to help you create a hot, healthy meal in a flash? The Tefal OptiGrill has a special place in Sue Beatty's home. Here's why.
People want to know about the quality of the food. They want to experience the butcher behind the counter who knows what he's doing, where he's buying it, the farms that he knows where it's being raised, and then it's looked after from the time we get it to they cook it and they feel safe in purchasing product from us. I find people when they come in the store nowadays that they're more educated than they were before, so they know the different cuts. So we're doing different things for them like the bavettes and the flat irons, so they'll know how to cook it. They really have much more knowledge of the product that they're looking for. The different type of clientele that's coming in the store today is there's a younger generation that have no children, just getting married. They're looking for a quality of food and an understanding of the food. And then we still have a lot of families that are looking for meals and looking to make stews and bigger portions of products.
It's really important for me to buy good quality meat because my family's nutritional needs are number one and it tastes better.
When clients come in now and they're looking to buy a nice steak, they're worried about overcooking it or not cooking it enough, so we try and guide them through it properly. So it just makes them more assured when they're barbecuing, they're comfortable that they're not going to waste money on a good steak and not cook it properly.
I really love shopping here because Ken is really knowledgeable and he helps me make the right choices when I'm shopping for meat.
When people want to grill a steak, they end up cooking it over too much and drying the steak out, where if they cook a chicken and they don't cook it enough, then it makes it dangerous, you're not cooking it properly. So you just have to pay attention to the temperatures that you're cooking your product at.
With Ken's advice and my OptiGrill, I'm really confident I'll be able to make a great dinner. I used to just hate grilling beef, chicken, fish, anything. I was always afraid it was just going to come out dry and overdone. Or I would take it off too early and it wouldn't be cooked through. With the Tefal OptiGrill, I know I'm never going to overcook or undercook my family's dinner. I've tried other indoor grills and honestly, they just don't compare. The Tefal OptiGrill has precision grilling technology sensors that automatically adjust the time and temperature for perfect grilling results. What I love about the OptiGrill is that the cooking color indicator and the beep allow me to know when my food is cooked to my desired preference. This is really important to me because in my family, I have people that like their steak rare, medium, and well done. My teenage daughter is a vegetarian, and I'm able to make a veggie panini for her using one of the preset controls on the OptiGrill.
Thanks, Mom.
This is really great for me because I don't have to worry about ruining the meal anymore. I just get to enjoy it.
Visit optigrill.ca for recipes and to learn more about how the OptiGrill works.
If you've ever had to deal with a case of head lice, then you know what a nuisance it can be. But for those who haven't dealt with this pesky problem, there's a lot of treatment information available, and it can be overwhelming, like it was for Alyssa, who went to her Shoppers Drug Mart pharmacist for help.
My daughter Andrea loves to play dress up, and one of the things that she loves to do right now is to trade clothes with her friends and try and create new outfits. The other night, while I was getting her knapsack ready, I found a letter from the school about a lice outbreak.
Lice or nits are tiny parasitic insects which often appear in children on their heads. They will spread quickly and should be treated immediately.
The letter asked parents to check children's hair for lice before returning to school the next day.
Lice are easily spread among children because it's not uncommon for them to share personal effects such as hairbrushes, combs, hats, scarves, even headphones. This makes it easy for the lice to spread. There are a lot of myths surrounding lice, but the truth is, lice will cling to any hair type or texture, clean or dirty.
I had never checked for lice. Andrew was asleep and it was too late to call her doctor, so I decided to go to my local Shoppers Drug Mart and speak to our pharmacist Maria to get some advice. I got a letter from my daughter's school about checking for lice.
Oh dear.
I was so amazed at how much she was able to help me.
Check her scalp, behind her ears, and the nape of her neck for them. They're usually the size of a sesame seed. Detecting lice can be tough. They can move up to 30 centimeters per minute and lay 3 to 8 eggs per day. So you want to be quick with treatment to avoid them spreading.
And what am I using to check with?
I recommend this comb. It's made specifically for lice, and I've used it on my kids.
And do I use it on wet hair or dry hair?
Wet is best. Douse your child's hair in white conditioner, combing out small sections 5 times each, removing all byproduct from the comb after each stroke. If you see that she has them, you can treat it with this.
I was so relieved that I was able to get help from Maria, especially at that time of night. I mean, my local Shoppers Drug Mart is open until midnight, and Maria knows all my family's health care needs, so I know I can trust the advice that I get from her.
So if you can take a look, bring that person up right there. Most people think we only dispense drugs, although we take that responsibility very seriously. Pharmacists offer a lot of healthcare services, including assessing symptoms and recommending treatments for allergies, insect bites or stings, organizing medications to ensure you're taking the right medication at the right time, and administering flu shots depending on the province you live in. How can I help you? We want to be your healthcare partner.
Turns out Andrea didn't have lice or nits, but if she had, I could have treated them that night with the help of Maria, my Shoppers Drug Mart pharmacist.
Awesome! All right, we look great. I love you, honey.
Your local Shoppers Drug Mart pharmacy offers an array of services for you and your family that vary from province to province. Visit shoppersdrugmart.ca to learn more about what your pharmacist can do for you. There's nothing worse than waking up to a burst water pipe on a cold winter morning. So, with the days growing shorter and the temperature getting colder, it's time for homeowners to prepare for the season from the inside and out.
From coast to coast, residential properties are being damaged by climate-related storms and activities. And that leaves homeowners wondering how to best protect their home sweet homes from the effects of an increasingly unpredictable Mother Nature. With the days getting shorter and the nights getting cooler, summer is behind us, and it's time to prepare for the haphazard weather of fall and winter.
Weather patterns are changing, storms are becoming much more frequent, and they're becoming much more powerful. The weather experts are telling us that this is going to keep changing and increasing over the next 50 years. Climate change is affecting us all. There's the potential for severe damage to our homes, which are our single biggest investment.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Alex Walker from RSA. There's some important things that homeowners can do to protect themselves and their properties. You can make sure that your eaves troughs and gutters are clear so that there's no accumulation of debris and water. And then your downspouts from your house, have them go as far away from the foundation of the house as possible so that water isn't accumulating around the base of your property. I like what you've done. Smart idea to trim back the tree leaves away from the property.
Yeah.
I was wondering, when did you change the eaves troughs? They look new.
That was about a year ago when we did all the renovations to the house. And we also had leaf guard put in so we don't have to clean them that often.
Smart, saves you some time. So let's come around the back here and take a look. I see what you've done is you've continued with the eaves trough, the new eaves trough, all the way around the house, and that's a really smart idea. Sometimes we see people skimp and they only do part of the house. And we see what will happen is water will build up over the shingles, and they'll actually get underneath the shingles, lift the shingles up, and then when the thaw comes in the spring, or if it gets warmer, the water, the ice obviously melts, it gets inside the ceiling, and it can cause extensive damage inside the house. So you've done a really good job there.
Thank you.
It's also important to note that if you're not comfortable getting up on a ladder to clean out the eaves troughs yourself, you should hire a professional and stay safe. So one of the things you're going to want to do is you're going to want to drain all the water out of the hose. So with your exterior hose, it's really important that you completely shut off the water to the outside. I would take the hose off the wall itself, take it inside, keep it warm so you can use it again in the spring and the summer next year. And you'll want to go downstairs and find the master shutoff and turn that off as well, because as the temperature goes down, if there's water between the inside and the outside, that could freeze and crack the pipe and cause some water damage. Do you mind if we take a look inside your garage? Before that first winter storm comes and the ice and snow starts to accumulate, make sure that you have bags of ice melt or salt that you can put down. You also want to make sure that you have a shovel that you can use, and also make sure that you're shoveling your driveway and your sidewalk so that nobody slips and falls or it has an accident on your property. You want to be a good neighbor.
So Alex, last year's winter storm really took us by surprise. What would you recommend we do to, prepare ourselves better for next year's storm?
It took a lot of people by surprise. It's a good idea now to stock up on things like ice melt and salt, because when that first big pile of snow comes, you may not find it in the stores. Everybody's rushing out and buying it right away. So that again, when that first snowfall does fall, you're ready to go clear everything out.
Here is the city external water line comes inside.
Oh, okay, good. All right, well, you know where it is. That's important. I see that you've got a sump pump, which is excellent. So you know how to turn off your external water that's coming from outside of the house. You've got a great setup here. If you find water damage in your house, you really should talk to your independent insurance broker or insurance company and report a claim. They can get a contractor out to help you with the repairs and to verify exactly what's happening and where that water is coming in. What Renita and Samir have done is really smart. Nobody wants to have an insurance claim, but by doing simple, basic things like making sure that your gutters are clear and your eaves troughs are clear and that you're prepared for a winter storm, if something does happen, you're able to respond to it.
Really feel prepared for winter, and it might bring what it will, and I think we are really ready on it.
That's right, it's something to worry about.
Contact your local insurance broker for more risk prevention tips.
Research shows that kids who consume balanced and nutritious meals learn and perform better at school. Not only does a healthy breakfast equal a good start, a balanced lunch ensures your child is fueled for a day of activity and learning.
Hi, I'm Kara Rosenblum, registered dietitian, writer, and mom. I often get questions from other moms who are searching for nutritious meal ideas for their families. Today I'm meeting with my client Deanna, a mother of two. She's looking for healthy, nutritious recipes for lunches that are tasty, nut-free, and simple to prepare.
These are my kids' favorite lunches. It's become pretty routine, so I was hoping you could freshen up the menu. maybe something nutritious that will fuel them up and get them ready for the day.
In order to ensure that a meal is balanced and nutritious, I make sure it has whole grains, some vegetables and fruit, and a good source of protein. We do have some great options here. I see fruit, there's salad, vegetables, and some protein options like cheese and turkey, but no grain products.
I have cut back on bread and crackers because they contain wheat. Some moms have mentioned that it might not be healthy to feed the kids products with gluten in them. Are they right?
Gluten intolerance is a real thing. If you've been diagnosed with celiac disease, which affects about 1% of the population, you do need to follow a gluten-free diet. The same may be true if you have gluten sensitivity, but for majority of the population, gluten is safe to eat. Whole grain products are good for you. They contain an array of nutrients like fiber, B vitamins, and minerals that are important for a child's growth and development. So let me show you some ways to introduce grain products back into a healthy lunchbox. I suggested to Deanna that she use whole wheat tortillas to make wraps, whole grain crackers to pair with the cheese, and soy butter as a school-safe alternative to peanut butter. Foods like cereal bars and pudding cups are actually treats, so they should be consumed in moderation. You can also add fiber to lunch with these crackers. There are a variety of different whole grains. And then we have some sandwiches here made with soy butter. A nutritious and balanced lunch is so important in the school day to help fuel your kids for learning.
So grains aren't only wheat products?
That's right. Wheat, corn, barley, and oats are all considered grains. I also like recommending soy as a protein alternative that some people don't think of. And best of all, they're all available locally from the 28,000 corn, soybean, and wheat farmers across Ontario. I suggested 2 excellent websites for Deanna to visit to learn more about grains: the nonprofit Healthy Grains Institute and Good in Every Grain. So let me show you one of my kids' favorite lunches. I call this one the Grainiac Mediterranean Lunchbox.
Fun name.
I know, I find when you give food a fun name and make it visually appealing, kids are more likely to try new foods. So the recipe that adds protein to this meal is a hummus, and it starts with chickpeas, is all hummus will do. And remember I mentioned that soy can add protein? In this recipe, I've added a soy butter as well as a silken tofu to add extra protein to the hummus. We give it some amazing flavor by adding cumin and garlic, and of course some lemon juice and olive oil. You can add some salt and pepper to taste, depending on how your kids like it. You're all set to go.
That was easy and no cooking.
I know, it's great. And then you just add the hummus to the container for the lunchbox, and you pair it with whole grain pita chips, some wonderful fruits and vegetables, whatever your children's favorites are, and some Greek yogurt, and you've got a healthy and balanced lunchbox. I always tell my clients that to create a balanced plate or lunchbox, you want to fill half of it with vegetables, a quarter with protein, and a quarter with whole grains. Visit goodineverygrain.ca for more tips and recipe ideas.
A house is likely the single largest financial investment most Canadians will ever make. So you want to do everything you can to ensure that not only your home is protected, but your family is as well. And now, with help from the latest mobile technology, a home monitoring system can help you feel safe from anywhere in the world.
There are over 26 million cell phone users in Canada. That amounts to 74% of the population, and with more than half of Canadian adults using smartphones, we are now enjoying the freedom to do much more than just make phone calls. Most of us never leave home without our smartphones. While on the go, you can check emails, social networks, current news, and even bank account statements. And the latest trend when it comes to smartphones is full control security. When you think of traditional home security systems, you likely think of protecting you and your family from intrusions or fire. But smartphones make full and remote control over your security system, video surveillance, and home automation easy. In simple terms, this means you can keep a handle on your home while on the go, lock and unlock the door when your kids come home or when your cleaning lady has left, arm and disarm your system remotely just in case you forget, and get alerts to keep your children and home safe. The ability for interactive services to provide video allows homeowners to check in on surveillance cameras and live video feeds anytime, anywhere. For example, to see whether their kids made it home safely or to check on the babysitter or cleaning staff while they're away. As the popularity of smartphones and web-enabled devices continues to rise, so does the movement toward full control security. Canadian security company Reliance Protectron has seen increased interest in their interactive suite of services among new and existing customers, thanks in part to home automation, which adds another element of convenience above and beyond the aspect of safety. In fact, some full control security systems allow homeowners to set the temperature of their home from a smartphone or any web-enabled device. And with live temperature monitoring, homeowners can reduce their energy consumption by adjusting heating or air conditioning when necessary. They can also control their lights from a distance or based on expected comings and goings. Reliance Protectron has a wide range of information and solutions for security control, video surveillance, and home automation available on their website.
Receiving an inheritance and drafting your own will are two of the most significant financial planning milestones the average Canadian makes, in many cases leaving families with more questions than answers. After benefiting from a recent inheritance, Val and Andy wanted to learn how to protect this additional asset and set up trust accounts for their children.
With one son away at university and their daughter Kate finishing high school, Andy and Val Shaw are taking time back, which includes traveling more, spending time with friends, and perfecting their tennis game. When Val and Andy recently received an unexpected inheritance, they weren't sure what to do next, so they contacted their financial advisor.
We got back into tennis about 5 years ago or so. We were playing a lot of golf, and we have a lot of friends who have just taken up golf, but we decided we wanted to try something new, and tennis has just been fantastic for us.
Tennis is much easier to play in the evenings. The courts are lit. We can play in the winter. It's really been a great activity.
Like many Canadians, Val and Andy have spent their adult lives working and raising a family, and their hard-earned money deserves to be protected. And the best protection is being informed, knowing what the options are.
Recently, we had an unexpected inheritance, and we contacted a financial advisor to give us a hand with that.
My recommendation for a couple that have just received an inheritance would be to firstly look at their own financial situation and look at their outstanding debts or obligations or future expenses that they might have that they've always wanted to deal with but have probably not been in the situation to actually address.
The financial advisor was very helpful because he looked at our overall situation. Our mortgage is paid off, but we have to plan for the future and invest it cautiously, and he had a number of ideas to help us.
We often find that there's a great degree of reluctance to take on a higher level of risk with the monies because it is theirs and they've, again, it's something new to them. So we look at strategies which incorporate a balanced portfolio approach. We would include government bonds where possible, corporate bonds or fixed income where possible, and we would often include GICs or term deposits from one of the many financial institutions in Canada. The nice thing about the GICs is that they do come with the CDIC insurance, so there's that $100,000 worth of blanket coverage for each issuer. And I think people find that comforting in just getting started with a bigger portfolio.
Kate, I'm home.
Finding out that some of the options have lower risks, it was quite comforting to know, and it helps us sleep at night.
One of the things the financial advisor helped us out with is telling us about CDIC and knowing that there is coverage out there for our inheritance. Our son is at university in second year, and our daughter is off next year, but this last year I've really enjoyed spending time with her at home. It's been a real treat for both of us to hang out together a little bit more. We do a lot of cooking, but she's also an aspiring actress, so we spend a lot of time working with her in terms of taking her to extracurricular classes such as ballet and acting and voice, so it's a very busy time. Let me see. Oh, that's great. We can use that for sure.
Okay.
Pull it out. Oh, that's gorgeous.
Flower in the
Yeah, we can
rainbow.
use that. Put it in the pile. There's another one of them sailing. I think that's really good.
We're often asked about trust accounts for children in the situation where there perhaps is some extra monies to be invested and parents want to look out for their kids. Again, future education needs or their first home, or it could be anything really.
The kids were also beneficiaries of the inheritance, so their money was put into a family trust, and it was comforting for us to know that they were protected by CDIC as individuals under that program.
To improve your financial knowledge and find out more about deposit insurance and what types of accounts are eligible, visit cdic.ca.
Thanks for watching For Your Life. For more information about the products and companies we featured, or to be on the show, visit fifthstory.com. I'm Stacey Engelhard. See you next time.